Hi guys, welcome to another video. Hope you're all keeping well. Now, for this video, I'd like to review one of Stephen King's greatest horror novels. Now, it was released in 1983, and it spawned two movies. Now, that movie, that's a book, is Pet Sematary. Okay then, guys, before I say anything more about this masterpiece of horror, I'll just read you the blurb at the back of this edition. Sometimes dead is better. The house looks right, feels right to Dr. Louis Creed, rambling, old and comfortable, a place where the family can settle. The children grow and play and explore. The rolling hills and meadows of Maine seem a world away from the fume-choked dangers of the city. It's only those big trucks on the road outside which growl out unnerving threats. Behind the house there's a carefully cleared path up into the woods to a place where generations of local children have walked in processions with the solemn innocence of the young, taking with them their dear departed pets for burial. A sad place maybe, but safe. Surely a safe place, not a place to seep into your dreams, to wake you, sweating with fear and foreboding. So there you go, guys. That's the blurb for the 1983 masterpiece of horror fiction by the great Stephen King, Pet Sematary. Okay then, guys, on to my thoughts on this novel. Oh yeah, I could sit here all afternoon spouting superlatives of how much I love this novel. I love everything about it. I love the setting. I love the characters. I love the main protagonist, Dr. Louis Creed, his family and that, and great scenes of horror, real feeling of dark, oppressive forces, at large in this terrifying, chilling novel. Even Stephen King himself said it's the scariest novel he'd ever written, and by golly, he was right. I've read this novel many, many times over the years, and I rate it highly, along with all my favourite books: The Rats, Dracula, Frankenstein, Carrie, Misery. It's right up there with all the classics, guys. I love it when Stephen King writes horror. I'd rather he wrote more novels like this now, instead of toning it down a bit and going on to like detective stories. Now, I like him when he writes us out now horror. But oh yeah, this is a great novel, guys. One of Stephen King's best. And as I say, the stuff of nightmares. Gracie Stephen King, it really excelled here when he wrote this story. The atmosphere. It's almost palpable, the feeling of dread, horror, and that last the ending. I'm not going to give away the ending, guys, if you haven't read it. Oh my God. One of the most spine-chilling endings of a novel I have ever read in my whole life. But as I say, I love it when Stephen King writes us horror and that like this. I'd love to see him return to this one day. I must admit, regarding the movie versions, I did not like the remake, but I loved the first one. With the guy in from The Munsters, Fred Gwynne, who played Judd Crandall. Masterpiece, and that very, very sad novel as well. Heartbreaking scenes in this, guys. Really, I won't go too much into it, but you really feel for the poor family, the things that happen to them, and that, and this sinister Micmac Indian burial ground, and that, behind the pet cemetery, where all families over the years have buried the pets and that. But yeah, Stephen King always really at his best when he wrote this. Fantastic, yeah. And as I say, this is the sort of thing I like. I like him to churn out novels of this caliber. Yeah, it's definitely at his best when he writes his horror. Yeah, well, this is one terrifying story, this, guys. I love everything about it. I love the setting. I love the old, ancient Micmac Indian burial ground situated just behind the pet cemetery. I love the characters, Gage and his family, Dr. Louis Creed, the dad, and Rachel and that, and the little girl, and Church, the cat, Winston Churchill. Terrifying scenes where the cat comes back from the dead, and spoiler alert, and Gage comes back from the dead and that, yeah. But this is one terrifying book. I loved the movie as well, guys, the original. Wasn't too keen on a 2019 remake, but I loved the original one that starred the guy from The Munsters in as Judge Crandall. But this is a masterpiece of horror fiction. If you love horror, guys, and you're a fan of Stephen King and you haven't read this book, why? What are you doing? Read this book. Every Stephen King fan must surely have read this book by now. It's an absolute masterpiece of horror, and I would rate this as one of my all-time top 100 horror books of all time. So much terror, bleakness, despair, ominous, overwhelming feeling of oppressiveness, ominousness, and as I say, the sinister Micmac Indian burial ground. And they did a fantastic job, guys, recapturing the story in the movie, the 1989 movie. Actually, I've just bought Bloodlines, the the prequel to Pet Sematary, because I've never seen that. I was in HMV on Friday, and I thought I'd buy it. I'm not expecting much, guys, but I just thought I'd, because I've watched all the other Pet Sematary movies and that, including Pet Sematary 2. I thought I'd give it a go. So yeah, so I'll probably do a review of it when I finish. But getting back to this novel, guys, me as a horror writer, I rate this as a great piece of work, by the master of horror, Stephen King. I love the way all his titles are getting re-released in these really lovely eye-catching covers, But oh yeah, it's as even Stephen King himself rates this as it's the scariest novel he has ever written. And I'm by George, I'm glad he released it. He didn't pull back at the last minute and say I'm not putting that out. This is the stuff of nightmares, guys. If you love stories about the dead coming back to life, family dramatics and that, good solid characters, creepy atmosphere, Pet Sematary has it in bucket loads and much, much more. As I say, I wasn't bored once, guys. I first read it in 1983 when it came out. I've read it numerous occasions since. And, as I say, I regard this as a classic of horror fiction. Just loved everything about it, the dynamics of the family, and when a tragedy happens and that, the heartbreaking, very, very sad book as well, guys, in regards to the gauge, very, and that road, like, the going up and down, like, the highway right by the house and that. Oh, yeah, very, very good atmosphere. Stephen King was really on the money when he created an atmosphere of a really almost palpable horror when he wrote Pet Sematary, and I think it's a masterpiece of, an absolute masterpiece of horror fiction. So there you go, guys. That's my thoughts on Pet Sematary. 10 out of 10 for this one, yeah, from 1983. Okay, have you read Pet Sematary? I'd like to bet most of you have. Do you share my opinion that this is one of Stephen King's greatest horror novels? Leave your comments down below, guys. Let's get a discussion going about Pet Sematary. But yeah, I love Pet Sematary. And as we draw to the conclusion of this video, I'm hopefully going to do some more reviews of Stephen King's books, for my new channel, Alan Toner, horror author. I do pass the word around, guys, about the new channel. I'd be love to have new people on board, yeah. But okay then, guys. I hope you're all enjoying the channel. Anyway, I've got loads of stuff to put on, loads of ideas relating to books, author profiles. I might even try and do a Q&A with some authors, like if they're willing and that, talking about my own work as a horror writer and that, yeah. Okay then, guys. I'm going to leave it there. I hope you enjoyed my review. Or enjoy my review of Stephen King's 1983 masterpiece of horror, Pet Sematary. And it all going well, I'll be back again very soon. Usually, if you like the video, please feel free to share, subscribe, and comment. And all going well, I'll be back again very, very soon. But once again, guys, I can't speak highly enough of Pet Sematary. I absolutely adored it and just feel like reading it again. Yeah, okay then, guys, that's it. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. Take care. Bye for now. If you enjoyed watching this video, guys, you might like to check out my website at www.alantoner.com. You'll be able to find out a little bit more about my work as a writer and all the books I have published to date. Thanks for watching.